Okay, so I'm just going to recap PEA again, go through some real clear guidance on the next few slides of how to use that, and then I'm going to model writing the beginning of this answer, and you're going to carry on writing that answer, okay? So for the English language reading exams, there's a particular way of structuring some of your answers. So it's briefer, it's more concise. That means you say a lot in very few words, and then you move on to making a wider range of points using a wider range of evidence. So here's an example from the first quote from the grid that you just finished. So when the writer uses the adverb cruelly to describe the murder, it implies he feels pity for her and emphasizes the barbaric way that she was killed. So it shows you that it's written up very briefly. You wouldn't talk about cruelly in any more detail. You'd move on to another word. Okay, so on slide 12, there are some PEA writing frames. Okay, so when the writer uses da-da-da or a quote, it implies this idea because, or when the writer uses this quote, it criticizes or subverts this idea because. And you could use criticize or subverts with things like the attitudes towards women. So when he talked about the women as being unfortunate, he is painting them in quite a critical light, or kind of sympathizing with them, or empathizing with them at the same time as kind of being critical. So you can try and use those words about those kinds of quotes if you want to challenge yourself. Okay, we also on slide 13 have a reminder that structuring a whole answer involves using tracking phrases. This is the same as the work we did for Frankenstein, the same as any answer we asked you to do. We asked you to say at the start, in the middle, at the end. And in language, we asked you to include 5, 6, 7 quotes instead of just having the key ideas across the text. So you are going to have a go at this, okay? So you're going to try and answer the question, how does the writer present the murdered lady? But you have already done the hard work on slide 10, so don't forget that. Okay, I've just noticed there is a bit of an error here. It says do this on slide 15, there's support on slide 14. You actually need to do it on slide 16, and there is support on slide 15. So the support here gives you kind of more definite kind of guidance for your pathway. So you need to try and write at least 3 or 4 if you're copper, bronze, or silver, and at least 4 to 5 if you are gold or platinum. You can write more than that though. And there's another example there. But I'm just going to model starting this to you, but also using the task on slide 10 to help me, okay? So first of all, I need to write from the start, okay? Because I'm going to write about this chronologically. So I'm going to go from the start. So at the start, the writer shows that he sympathizes with the woman by stating that she was cruelly, oh, that's not cruelly murdered. Right now, I'm not sure if that's my exact quote, so I'm just going to go back to this grid and check. Okay, cruelly murdered. Yeah, he feels pity for the murdered woman, and it emphasizes the barbaric nature of the crime. So I can actually use those exact words. Okay. And I go back to my answer. So at the start, the writer shows that he sympathizes with the woman by stating that she was cruelly murdered, showing that he feels pity for her. I'm going to use a semicolon to include this. Okay, so a bit of single word analysis. Maybe that's a pity for her, cruelly. And then I've got this bit here that I can copy and paste from my notes on my previous bit. Cruelly emphasizes the barbaric nature of the crime. Okay, great, there's one, and then I'd move on to the next one. Next, the writer suggests, and you can use that as a sentence starter for the next one if you would like to. You're just going to carry on writing that answer. You need to do 3 or 4 if you're bronze, copper, or silver. You need to do 4 or 5 if you're gold or platinum. Okay, hopefully that will be fairly straightforward with all of that support. Remember to go back, use the grid, use the writing frame if you get stuck. And then after you finish, there's a quick self-assessment and dirt task. Please make sure you complete these. I've noticed that some people are leaving their self-assessment tasks. It's really important that you're reflecting on the way that you have completed the work. Okay, thank you. And email me if there's any confusion.